So I've taught every grade, kindergarten through doctoral students. So I've seen a huge range of ability levels from absolute beginner, like 5-year-olds, to doctoral students who are older than me. It's often easier for the younger students to sit with that frustration than it is for adults. One of the reasons is because adults have gotten good at something. It might not be making music. It might be something completely different. But because they've gotten good at something, when they start with music, and they're not at that level that they're comfortable with in other areas, there can be this like heightened level of frustration that like an adult, even a teenager might experience compared to like somebody who's like a 5-year-old learning how to drum. Because like they just don't know any better. They don't have that context for what something should sound like. So if you are in your teens, 20s, 30s, older, when you're starting to learn music and you're a beginner at something, that can be very frustrating. What can also be very frustrating is not having the context for how long does it take to actually get good at the thing that I'm trying to get good at, in this case, drumming. I've studied with people who are world champions and the educators who taught those world champions. So I have the context for having studied with them to know what the steps were that they took to be able to get to the highest levels. I was able to see these are the steps that they took. If I do that too, I have this trusted path that worked for them. Odds are it will work for me. So if you have not experienced what it takes to actually get good at something, know that it's going to take way longer than you think, and that you have to be absurdly patient with it. So an example that I give is I got a couple of lessons with Jeff Queen. He's a 4-time world champion snare drummer. When I got those couple of lessons with him, he said that he would slow a rudiment down to like 40 beats a minute and then play through it 50 times in a row until it sounded perfect, 50 times in a row. If he got to 49 and it was like, not great, he restarts the counter and tries it again. And then once he got through those 50 times with the rudiment or the exercise or whatever, then he'd move it up a click, or maybe at most 5 clicks, and go just a little bit faster. And when I heard that, I was like, whoa, that is a level of detail and perfectionism that I didn't know I could strive for with my own playing. And so I started practicing that way too. And it was very tedious, but I made more progress when I started refining how I was practicing and how I was learning than all the years before that I had learned little things like that. If you are getting frustrated with performing, odds are you just don't have the context for, well, how long does it take? And what are potential steps that I can take to get there? So right now I'm playing through double kick stuff and it doesn't sound good. I could get very frustrated every time I make a mistake. Or I could think back to, well, when I played this with my hands and I was first learning it, it didn't sound good either, but I can now play it more than twice as fast as my feet can. And so I just got to be patient and understand that it's going to take time, and eventually I'll be able to get my feet up to my hands and it's going to sound great. Because I've done that process on many different things, whether it's like learning marimba or learning timpani or learning snare drum or learning bass drum or learning drum kit or learning every single band and orchestra instrument for my undergrad, or becoming a researcher, or like working on YouTube videos and editing, etc. All these different domains, I have that context for the effort that it takes to do that. When I'm not good at something yet, I try and think of what do I need to do to make it so that I can get better at this. Some of the ways that you can do that with your own performing, if you're frustrated with it, is do it more frequently. So when I'm not good at something, I'll do it every day. It gives my brain more processing time because I'm constantly reinforcing it in my brain and going, hey, this is important. Hey, pay attention to this. I'll sleep on it and my brain processes it and goes, oh, we did this thing today, but we also did it the day before and the day before and the day before. And because I'm reinforcing it every single day, even if it's only for like 10 minutes, the brain is going to do this thing called myelination. This makes it so that it's easier for your brain to do it and you have to think less while doing it. So when I'm doing like limb independent stuff, if I'm playing and I'm playing this bione pattern. When I first tried this bione pattern, there's no way on earth that I'd be able to have like a full-on conversation with you while playing these 3 different things right now and not make it sound like I am very robotic with my talking because it's messing me up. I'm able to not have to think about this and even add in the left hand if I want to and improvise on top of that. So I'm doing 5-way independence, but when I first started it, I couldn't do that. The reason why there's that growth from barely able to play it to able to play it while having a full-on conversation and not sound robotic is because of that strengthening of those pathways that relate to that particular pattern or this pattern or whatever it is that you're actually working on whenever you're playing on the drum kit or snare drum or marimba or whatever. So if you're frustrated with something, you just haven't done it enough. It takes about 50 hours of working on one thing to strengthen that neural connection. And that 50 hours is dependent on, are you doing it every single day? Or are you doing it like once a month? Because if you are infrequently working on something, your brain is going to go, oh, that thing that we worked on for like 5 hours today, we don't need to worry about that because we're not going to do it again for another quarter. We'll focus on it then, or another month, or another week if you're just drumming on weekends. But if you do it every single day and you're like, no, I want to learn this thing, that will make it so that you actually get better in your sleep, literally, because that's when your brain kind of like purges the stuff that's unnecessary and it reinforces the stuff that is necessary, because we don't want this waste in our brain. It tries to be very efficient. If you're struggling with stuff, slow things down so it gives you more time to process it in between. That can usually help with like working on technique or rhythms or whatever it is that you're working on, like learning something, and just really reinforce it over and over. If you can practice for 10 minutes a day, great, that's better than nothing. If you can practice an hour a day, great, that's better than nothing. If you can practice for 5 hours a day, great. There's going to be some diminishing returns at the end, but that hour 5 is still better than not practicing. What I highly recommend is just focusing on increasing the depth of the practice, the amount of focus that you bring, the attention that you bring into whatever it is that you're working on, and doing it more frequently. Just being patient with yourself with it. So like when I'm doing these live streams, I'm playing stuff that I'm sometimes absolutely terrible at. Like when I first tried doing this a couple of days ago, like playing through this, it was laughable. So if like somebody were to like randomly be scrolling and just like, oh, I've never seen this person before, and they see me play, they're going to assume that I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm trying to model what practicing looks like by showing that this is what struggling looks like, as opposed to just showing like, hey, here's the final take. It may have taken me 100 times to record this and get it right, but we're not going to show you those 99 other times. All we're going to do is show you the 100th take of this recording, and it sounds great. It sounds that way all the time, right? No. If you are comparing yourself to people who are only showing the final take, the final recording, the edited version or whatever, you're never going to feel like you've made it, because all you're seeing is that 1% of the time that they're performing, and you're missing the 99% of the time that they're practicing. So you're missing all of the series and sequences of mistakes that they're making leading up to that really good take. While you are practicing, you are not missing any of that stuff because you're sitting with that 99% and you're just constantly failing. And you don't see all those failures from other people that you might be comparing yourself with. Be patient with it. Trust the process. And one of the ways that you can do that is like learn from other people who have been there and done that and who are sharing that. Like you can listen to podcasts of your favorite creators or whatever. Or if you go to my home tab of YouTube, scroll past the like thousands of play alongs and you go into the tips in the lessons section. At the moment, there's just under 22 hours of tips inside of here of like really good questions like you were asking. And then there's a bunch of drumming lessons, which are like scripted lessons on different topics. This is me sharing the things that I've done to try and learn to improve as a percussionist, as an educator on a wide range of different topics. So I highly recommend starting with some of these. There's over 100 videos in here. Just be patient with it. You'll get there. It just takes time. I would sometimes have students be like, oh, I want to be the best. I'd be like, cool. Are you going to drum for like 8 hours a day? No, I was hoping to like drum for like 20 minutes a day. Cool. Well, you can be the best in like 100 years at that rate. Or if you increase the amount of time that you're practicing, you can compress that amount of time if you want to become the best. So yeah, more effort. You'll get there. If you look at interviews of people like Siberiano, George, phenomenal double bass and limb independence expert. He's got a video where he talks about his progress and how terrible he was when he started, and then just like constantly practicing and was just getting better and better over time. When he talks about it, talks about how horrible he was. So he did an interview with Grayson Krutman when he was younger. He got really ill, and so he couldn't go to school. And so he actually just stayed home for a few years and just practiced drums all day, every day, and got better because he was just doing it all day, every day. Anybody that you admire who's like actually self-aware enough to see how much time it takes that they put into it, like Grayson or George or whatever, they will tell you that it takes decades and thousands of hours to get good at something. For context, one of the things that I like to talk about is Malcolm Gladwell's book, Outliers, popularized the idea that it takes 10,000 hours to get good at something. That is true based off of research by Kay Anders Ericsson, but that's the average across domains. But every domain has their own average. So at the time that I was teaching a graduate course on skill acquisition and expertise, wrestling was around 8,000 hours, but for music, it was 21,000 hours to get to the international level. So if you want to compress the amount of time that it takes to get to the highest levels that you're seeing on like social media, you just have to practice more frequently and find ways to do that. So there's actually a video in here, the drumming tips playlist. So in 136, this actually talks about how to get more done so that way you have more time to practice. The first part of this video is like answering somebody's question about like, hey, I'm getting distracted by things. What do I do to improve it? But then the next main bulk of this is just talking about different strategies that I've used to make it so that I can practice more, to get more done, to make it so that I am more focused, I have more time, I have more energy, attention, etc. There's a ton of different tips in here that can help you to make it so that you can actually practice more by getting more done throughout the day, so you don't have to like waste your time on unnecessary stuff that detract from your practicing. But again, there's a ton more videos, over 100 videos on a wide range of topics in here, like how to improve your buzz rolls or how to improve your dynamics or your flam taps or whatever.